Sarah Weiss with Go Go Yoga for Kids, and thank you so much for being here. We are in the last part of our Kids Yoga Lesson Planning 101. We have had so much fun, and I just thank you for watching and learning, and I appreciate all of your comments and your feedback. Thank you, thank you. I'm so thrilled. Now, we have been covering the 9 important parts of a Kids Yoga lesson plan. We have been doing this over the course of several weeks, and you are not too late if this is the first time you're joining us. Just go ahead and head to gogoyogakids.com/lessonplanning101, and there you can find your printable workbook, and you can also find all the videos covering every single component of an effective kids yoga class. So we have talked about the welcome, which is our first part, and how to engage kids right from the start. We have talked about breathing exercises and how to make them fun and not boring for kids. After that is our sun salutations made simple. We move into active movement where we get our hearts pumping and happy. Next is our yoga poses, and those are your themed yoga poses that you have selected for the class. You don't want to go through 10, 20 of them. We talk about in the video how many to do, how many to introduce, for each different age level, and how to introduce them to the kids. So remember, each part of your lesson plan only takes 2 to 3 minutes, so that's why there are 9 parts that all come together into a class. So after your themed yoga poses, then you head into the yoga challenge, which you can challenge your students with a balance pose, an inversion, or a partner pose. So definitely check out that video so you can learn all about that. After your yoga challenge, it is time for building community, and this is as you start to bring your class, your energy level down. The kids get to reflect and tell about what they've learned and their favorite part. This part is very, very important, especially for them remembering and then having them tell their mom and dad or their caregiver about what they learned. And now you've made it to the final part of your kids yoga class, the stillness and Shavasana. Now it's time for students to rest, relax, and reap all of the benefits of their hard work. Shavasana often becomes the children's favorite part of a kids yoga class, which I think is incredible because they are lying there. They are not doing a thing. The students began class so eager and excited and full of energy, and then after moving and working their bodies in such a good and healthy way, they are ready for this rest and relaxation. So I like to tell my students that their bodies deserve this rest. They need this rest. It helps them repair and build the muscles that they just worked. So please do not get the idea that when I say time for Shavasana, the kids readily roll into their backs, eyes closed, and then they're in this comatose state. That is not exactly how it works in the beginning. So Shavasana needs to be built gradually into the class flow. So like I mentioned, right before this, we have the building community portion. So the kids are already kind of becoming more quiet. It's different than your yoga game or your active movement. I usually turn the lights down low by this point, and they're already kind of in that kind of more relaxed state for sure. So here is how I effectively get kids into Shavasana. So first, if you're able to, turn the lights down low. I begin to play some calmer or slower music. Nature sounds work really well. The kids are on their yoga mats. They're in a circle. I have them sit up tall with their legs out in front of them, and I challenge them to lie down as slowly as they can onto their yoga mats. You can call it melting icicle, or with the older kids, I try to tell them to try to have each bone of their vertebrae, of their backbone, hit the mat. So they're going in slow motion. They're becoming conscious of that. So then after that, once they're laying down, they're going to stretch out as long as they can, like a pencil. They're just going to put their arms out above them and their toes pointed. And then I have them curl up into a ball, give themselves a hug. They've worked hard. They deserve this. It's that constricting, contracting of the muscles that really just makes them feel aware. So then I allow the students to kind of lie however they want. And this part is important because kids, they're coming from all different backgrounds and all different challenges. So if they want to, sit up for their Shavasana, that's fine. But generally, the kids will lay down. Some will go on their backs, some will go on their stomachs, some will be curled up on their sides. It doesn't matter, just as long as they're feeling comfortable and safe. I like to use phrases such as be as still as a statue or quiet as a mouse. I'll use that with the younger kids, and that gives them a mental picture of how to pose and act. So the kids are lying down, the music is going, and I will walk around and I'll rub their backs a little bit, just like a little bit. They actually really like that personal touch. It's nothing long, it's just a kind of a grounding feel, and they really do respond to that. So after about, in the beginning, I mean, you can have your Shavasana for 20 seconds with those 3-year-olds, and that's a success. Gradually, they will be able to build up to longer. So after your 30 to 60 seconds, maybe a little bit longer for those older kids, then you kind of start to bring them out of Shavasana. So, during your first few kids yoga classes, you will have kids that are, fidgeting around. That's just to be expected. That's normal. You may even have some that are fake snoring. I've had that. But it's amazing how quickly they do learn, and they do start to appreciate that stillness if you kind of keep the routine kind of similar and the same, so they know what to expect. They'll do just fine. So after you have started to bring the kids out of Shavasana, I'll have them roll to their side. I'll say things like use your arm as a pillow. They love that concept of using your arm as a pillow. And then I decrease the music slowly, so that it's quiet. They're using their arm as a pillow. I'll have them sit up nice and tall, eyes closed, and then we'll do a few cleansing breaths. So they'll breathe in, arms up above their head, and bring their hands to heart center. And I just talk about taking in that good air and letting go of the bad. And I'll say like a few closing words, and then the kids, very calmly, your yoga class is ended, and they are still, and they are quiet, and they're very content. It's amazing. I'll sometimes ask them at the end, how do you feel? And they're zoned out, and it's only been 30 seconds, 60 seconds of quiet. So that is how we do our stillness in Shavasana. It's truly magical. I do love ending on that note, and then they line up pretty quietly for the most part, and then they head out for the rest of their day. So it's very exciting. So thank you again for being a part of our Kids Yoga Lesson Planning 101. Please, if you have any questions, feel free to email me at Sarah, S-A-R-A, at gogoyogakids.com. Also, just definitely check out our website, gogoyogakids.com. We do have our kids yoga resources. We have our books, a complete guide to yoga with kids, yoga lessons for children. We have our postcards, which are very popular. You need to have a good set of postcards if you're going to teach kids yoga classes. So we have a lot of resources out there, and my goal is just to make it easy and fun for you as well as the kids. So thank you so much for watching. See you next time.